come on in, make yourself comfortable. This is day 3 of the series of Prayer to Prosper. Day 3, the topic is complete, lacking nothing. Complete, lacking nothing. So it's not ironic to me that the number 3 in the Bible means wholeness and completeness. So we're talking about lacking nothing. Welcome to day 3 of the series, A Prayer to Prosper. Now, remember in the beginning, I'm talking about whole life prosper. I'm talking about religion, relationships, resources, and revenue. So the first 2 days, you got to catch up, go back on my Facebook page or Periscope. The first 2 days, we were in the area of religion. On day 1, we talked about ground zero, tilling the soil with the word of God. On day 2, we talked about united we stand, 1 + 1 = 1. I'm telling you, if you missed it, you got to go back to it so that you can get it. And then today we're in the relationships segment. Day 3, complete, lacking nothing, we're going to talk about today. And then you can join me tomorrow for day 4, calling co-creators. So relationships, day 3, complete, lacking nothing. So when I think of complete and lacking nothing, that means that there's nothing missing, nothing at all missing. So, complete, lacking nothing, we're going to look at 3 areas of completeness that are necessary, required in order for us to have that completeness and that wholeness. First, we have to look at our relationship with God. First and foremost, in Genesis 5, chapter 1, the New Living Translation, it reads, and you can see it here, read along with me. This is the written account of the descendants of Adam. When God created human beings, he made them to be like himself. When God created human beings, he made them, us, to be like himself. So when God created us, making us to be like him, God-like, in his image. You can read Genesis chapter 1. It said he created them in his image. God doesn't lack anything. God lacks nothing at all. So since he created us to be like him, we too lack nothing. Now, lacking nothing doesn't mean there's no room for improvement, that we can't get better, right? Because even in the scriptures, it talks about Jesus grew. He was born, right? Just like you and I. In Luke chapter 2, it talks about Jesus grew in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and all people. So Jesus grew, but he lacked nothing. God lacks nothing. We lack nothing. If you don't believe me that what God creates lacks nothing, take a look at this with me. Now look at that sunrise. That sunrise was over a farm in Omaha, Nebraska. Now you answer this question for me. When is the last time God, who created the universe, he separated light from darkness. He separated the water from the earth. He put everything in his place. The sun to rise at a particular time, the moon to appear at a particular time. Let me know, when have you seen a sunrise or a sun struggle to rise, call you up on the phone, call me up on the phone, and ask us, will somebody please turn the switch on? Would you please turn the light switch on? I sure would like to shine. But right now I'm lacking a little something. I'm missing a little something. I can't shine. God created me the way God created me, and I'm missing out on something and I can't quite shine. I need you to flip a switch. That's not how our God operates. This beautiful sunrise that God created lacked nothing. Come on. And guess what? You and I lack nothing. Human beings. It says right here, this is the written account of the descendants of Adam. That's us. When God created us, he made us to be like himself. We don't lack anything. So, first and foremost, we have to own the fact that we were created like God. That's how he created us and designed us. God lacks nothing, and therefore we lack nothing. That's important. Ground zero for our relationship. Then we have to look at our relationship with ourselves. Proverbs 19 and 8 in the New Living Translation. To acquire wisdom is to love yourself. People who cherish understanding will prosper. And we're talking and building day by day, leading up to day 8 for the prayer, a prayer to prosper, right? Again, to acquire wisdom is to love yourself. People who cherish understanding will prosper. So, to acquire wisdom is to love yourself, to acquire the wisdom that we lack nothing because God created us like Him, right? Like God. We are God like. Then, once we get that wisdom, we cherish that understanding. And with that understanding, we will prosper. It's no way around it. We have no option but to prosper in every area of our life. We have because guess what? When I don't lack anything, why don't we apply for a particular job? Why don't we go after or pursue or enter into particular relationships? It's because we feel like we lack something. Oh, I'm not going to apply for that job. I don't think I qualify. I think they're looking for somebody else. I think it's pre-selected. I think. All we're doing is listing the things that we believe that we lack, that we don't have. Excuses, reasons. All that is talking about what it is we believe that we don't have. But now, because we have acquired wisdom, we love ourselves. We recognize who we are in God. We recognize that we're created like God, and God lacks nothing. We lack nothing. Oh, come on now. Let us go. Let us go. Put in the applications. Enter into those relationships. Pursue those dreams and aspirations that God, when He created us, He put on the inside of us. Again, let's look back at this sunrise. This sunrise isn't lacking anything. It isn't asking us for anything. It's just doing what it does, and that's shine. And we need to do the same thing. I tell you what, even before I was licensed to preach, I was preaching. Okay. Even before I was ordained, I was doing ordained work. Even before I became the professional that I am and earning the income, the revenue that I'm earning right now, I was already in that mindset, in that position, in that mindset and acting in that way because I knew it was only a matter of time. Because what? I lack nothing. I have what it takes. So, first, our relationship with God. Second, the relationship we have with ourselves, understanding who we are in God, walking in that, right? Getting that understanding, and we have no option but to prosper. And the third relationship that we're going to look at is our relationship with others. Now we can't even get. Oh, let me. I can't. Let me not get ahead of myself. Mark 12, verse 30 and 31 in the New Living Translation. I love the New Living Translation. If you like the King James, you can look it up in there. But I like the New Living Translation. And it reads, and you must love the Lord your God with all of your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your strength. This is equally important. The second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself. No other commandment is greater than these. This is Jesus talking here. And Jesus was asked Of all the commandments that Moses gave us, which are the greatest commandments? And this is Jesus's response. His response is to love God with all of our heart, soul, and mind, and all of our strength, first of the greatest commandments for us. And the second, he said, was just like it, is love your neighbor as yourself. No other commandment is greater than these. So the reason why there is no commandment, there are no commandments greater than these, is because first, look where it starts at. Love of God, knowing who God is, having the right relationship and understanding of who God is. And because we know that God lacks nothing, back to where we are, we can love God with all of our heart, all of our soul, and all of our mind, and all of our strength. And because we have this understanding of who God is, huh? Back to us, we can then love ourselves because we are created, God created us like Him, right? And now, because we have this love of self, this healthy, balanced love of self, we can love others. We can love our neighbor. We cannot love anybody else well, properly, health in a healthy manner, in a balanced manner, if we don't even love ourselves. Where does dysfunctional relationships come in and abuse come in? Is when we don't value another individual. And oftentimes, when we look at not valuing another individual, what we don't value in them is highly likely comes back to something that we don't value in ourselves. But when we love ourselves in a healthy way, in a balanced way, guess what? There is no jealousy. That's why this is the one of the two greatest commandments. Because when I love myself, I'm not jealous of anybody else. What? You are, who God created you to be, and the best version of you that you can possibly be. And guess what? I am who I am, the best way that I can possibly be. Nobody else can do a better job of being you than you. Nobody else can do a better job of being Lisa but Lisa. So that's why these are the two greatest commandments. I'm not going to kill anybody because guess what? I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not going to covet somebody else's spouse because guess what? I wouldn't do that to myself. All the other commandments fall in line under these because guess what? I love God. I've gotten wisdom. I know who God is. I know who God created me to be. I love me some me. Huh? So I have no option but to love you. These are my actions on autopilot, right? Again, let's go back to this sunrise. I'm telling you, when I got this revelation, now again, let's look at this sunrise. Now imagine if this sun was up in the air talking about, I'm jealous of the trees. I'm jealous of the clouds. I'm jealous of the grass. I'm jealous of the cattle in the field. I'm jealous. I'm not going to shine. I think the grass can shine better than me. I think the cattle can shine better than me. I think the clouds can shine better than me. I think the moon is outshining me. Come on. The sun is not doing that because the sun is operating to its fullest capacity. What? Lacking nothing. The sun is complete, lacking nothing. I bet you the next time you look at a sunrise, you're going to look at it differently. The next time you look at a full moon in the sky, you're going to look at it differently. Imagine the stars fighting against each other because the North Star shines brighter than this star and that star. No, that's not what's going on. So the same applies to you and I. We are complete, lacking nothing. When our relationship and understanding of God is intact and that God created us like God. God lacks nothing. So when we walk around jealous, when we walk around not living to our fullest potential, when we walk around and live every day not abundantly above all that we can hope, ask, or think, or even imagine, when we live beneath our God given potential, we are basically telling God, look, you didn't make me right because I'm missing something. I'm not complete. I'm not whole. And we know that's not the case. We know that God didn't make a mistake. When He made us complete and whole because He made us like Him. And therefore, we are to love ourselves. We are to love ourselves because we love God. As He said, love God. The greatest commandment, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. So as we prepare to prosper, pray a prayer to prosper and positioning and getting our heart right and our mind right and our soul right today on this third day, huh? Walk around knowing who you are, whose you are, loving yourself fully, wholly, and completely, knowing that you lack nothing. Now, can you get some additional skills? Absolutely. Can you learn some things? Yes, we can. These books, we can read books, we can get understanding, we can add, 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 right? One plus one, that was yesterday's message. Get it? Equals one. We can add things, but we don't lack anything. So that's a good sign too. Another indicator that when we get attached to anything that detracts and takes away from us and wants to tear us down, we know that is not a demonstration of God. That may be a situation or an individual that doesn't know who God is, who they are in God. They feel like they're lacking something and therefore they think other people should lack. No room for jealousy when we know we're complete. There's nobody I'm jealous of. There's nothing that anyone has that I want because I know the God that I serve, the God of my understanding, the God that created me, I lack nothing, right? And if I desire something, that God will grant that to me. I don't have to take it from anybody. I don't have to put anybody down to get it because I wouldn't put myself down and I wouldn't put God down. That's not a good demonstration of who God is. So, again, talking about relationships, that we are complete, lacking nothing. Lacking nothing. Don't forget to join me tomorrow for day 4, Calling Co-Creators. I'm telling you, this is a beautiful thing that we're building, getting to a prayer to prosper. 2020 hasn't seen anything. Super excited. Put your comments in there, and I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. And don't forget our focal scripture. You, God, crown the year with a bountiful harvest. Even the hard pathways